It's Fired Up Friday, and this isn't your average pep talk. This is the Bad Influence podcast. Yeah, the one they told you not to listen to. I'm Jordan Banderas, and today we're setting your fears on fire, torching your excuses, and waking up the beast inside you. If you want to take control of your life, it starts right here, right now. New drops every week. Let's burn the old version of you to the ground. So let's get this straight. Adapting doesn't make you fake. No, it doesn't. Let's make that clear. It makes you dangerous. Because the one who adapts fastest doesn't just survive, they dominate. You don't camouflage to disappear. Let's make that clear, okay? You camouflage to conquer. You think fitting in means losing yourself. Yes and no, if you don't know how to adapt. Adapting means learning how to navigate the system without letting it overwhelm you. There's the difference. It also means knowing when to blend and when to burn everything down with your authenticity. Like the Trojan horse. Because you're not changing who you are. You're learning how to play the game so well that the rules start bending around you. Adaptation isn't surrender. It's a strategy. So let me ask you something real. When was the last time you changed how you looked or acted just to be taken seriously? Did it make you feel fake or did it make you feel powerful? There's a difference between pretending and positioning. You didn't change to be accepted. You changed to be heard. You adjusted the wrapping so your message could cut through the noise. And that's not selling out. That's smart warfare. Think about it when you have the job of your dreams, the one that's going to pay you enough to change your life. You dress up, right? When you have that interview, you dress up. You get all fancy and then you talk different so you can get that job, right? Well, that's what I'm talking about. Right there, you adapted and you got the job. I've done it so many times. And I have gotten the job. And this is very important to know because right there, whenever you go to an interview, you have to adapt in order for you to get the job. Because you teach people how to treat you before you even speak. Your posture, your tone, your clothing, your energy. They all tell the world what story to believe. And if you don't control that story, someone else will write it for you. Every great warrior knows armor changes with the battlefield. So stop showing up dressed for the comfort zone you already outgrew. You've spent years trying to prove that being real means staying the same. But growth doesn't mean changing your truth. It means elevating how you express it. There's a big difference right there. You can evolve without erasing yourself because authenticity doesn't die through adaptation. It refines through it. You're not fake for adjusting. No, you're not. You're smart for refusing to stay stuck. Think about it. Just think about it. Remember the first time you realized that blending in didn't mean bowing down? You were probably surrounded by people who didn't get you. So you toned it down. You played the part. And while they thought they were shaping you, you were studying them. You were learning how the game was played, so one day You could rewrite the rules. You learn the language of the room before speaking your truth. So you listen. You observed. Oh, you adapted. And when the time came, oh, this is where it gets good. And if you decide to do this, this is where life is going to get good. You spoke in a way that couldn't be ignored. That wasn't pretending. That was precision. The wolf doesn't announce itself. It blends until it's close enough to strike. That's what real strategy looks like. Not loud, not desperate, just efficient. You adapted your approach, not your purpose, because your mission stayed the same. You just evolved your method. And that's important if you want to make it out in life. That's why you're still standing. Here's the hard truth. Most people mistake evolution for betrayal. The moment you shift, they call you fake. Because they're addicted to the version of you that made them comfortable. But you didn't grow to make them feel safe. No, you did not. So get that out of your mind. You grew to make yourself unstoppable. Their comfort isn't your calling. You've probably asked yourself, how do I stay real in a world that rewards performance? Right? You want to know the answer? At least my answer? You stay real by playing the performance strategically. You use your authenticity like a loaded weapon, always ready, never wasted. Because pretending isn't power, but positioning is. The difference, you want to know the difference? The difference is intention. It is intention. You're not adapting to please people. No, you're not. You're adapting to position yourself where your purpose can finally be heard. And that's not manipulation. That's mastery. You're not the puppet anymore. No, you're not. You have evolved. Because at this point, you're the puppeteer. And if that makes people uncomfortable, good. They were never meant to understand your evolution anyway. Perception isn't manipulation. No, it is not. It's translation. It's learning to speak multiple languages. Respect, presence, silence, composure. So your message lands no matter who's listening. Listen, I've done this. And it is incredible. Because you don't fake who you are. You make sure every version of you is still you. Because the moment you can adapt without losing yourself, you become untouchable. And that's power. Fluid, but unbreakable. Adaptation becomes weakness only when it erases your essence. So the goal isn't to hide behind your armor. No, it is not. It's to use it wisely. The armor protects the mission. Yes, it does. It doesn't replace the warrior. So every tone, every move, every version, it's still you. And that's what matters. You're adapting. You're just choosing the form that the moment demands. The ones who say, just be yourself, forget that self-awareness includes strategy. You can't be yourself without being naive, because raw authenticity without direction is chaos. And chaos doesn't lead, it distracts. Authenticity becomes power when it's refined by purpose. And let me tell you this. This is going to be raw. Because I like to be raw on my podcast. Like I want to show you how everything that everything that I talk in my podcast has changed my life. Because there was a time I thought adapting meant selling out. Right? Just like I did. You hated the idea of changing anything about yourself just to fit in. The way you spoke, the way you dress, the way you carried yourself. You told yourself, if they can handle the real me, then fuck them. I have said that multiple times in the past. How many of you have said that recently, huh? But deep down, that defiance wasn't power. No, it wasn't. It was fear. Yes, it was. You were afraid that if you adapted, you'd lose yourself. But you didn't realize you were already losing yourself by refusing to evolve. That's right. When you first stepped into this new world, this new environment, you had no choice but to adapt. You didn't know the rules. You didn't know the rhythm. And that's fine. So you did what survivors do best. You watched. You studied. You analyzed. You adjusted. You started reading the room before speaking. You adjusted your presence before announcing your truth. And guess what? It worked. Doors that used to stay locked started opening. People who never noticed you started paying attention. Not because you changed your soul. No. That's not what happened. But because you learned to translate it. That's when it clicked, right? Adaptation isn't surrender. It's precision. You were not selling your soul. No, you were not. And I want you to understand that. You were learning how to protect it. You were mastering the art of blending in just long enough to get your opening. And standing out exactly when it counted. Now, when you walk into a room, you don't shrink. You adapt strategically. You know which version of you needs to show up. The calm one, the bold one, the silent one, the speaker. And all of them, every single one of them is still you. Yes, all of them are you. Because authenticity isn't about staying the same. It's about staying true no matter what form the world demands. You learn to use your adaptability as a weapon, not a disguise. To connect, to communicate, to conquer. And that's when everything changed. Not because you became someone else, but because you finally understood who you've always been. A chameleon with purpose, a strategist with soul, a warrior who learned how to wear every mask without ever forgetting the face underneath. Imagine walking into every room with quiet confidence. Oh, just imagine. Just imagine. If you're going to work on this, after listening to this episode, just imagine this. This is your first step. You don't have to prove who you are. You already know. And that's not arrogance. It's alignment. The energy of someone who knows their power doesn't need to announce it. Adaptation is learning when to turn your volume up. And when silence does the talking. It's knowing when to blend with the environment and when to light it on fire. It's not about being liked. And I want you to understand that. It's about being effective. Because real power doesn't chase attention, it commands it. It earns it through precision. That's how conquerors move. Subtle, strategic, unstoppable. You can wear any armor, speak any language, walk into any arena, and never lose yourself. That's not fake, that's focus. You're not bending, you're positioning. Because only amateurs confuse stubbornness with authenticity. Masters adapt and still remain unmistakably themselves. Think about billionaires, how much they had to adapt to get to the point that they are right now. They had to adapt so much. So, what's one shift you can make today that positions you, not pretends you? Maybe it's the way you walk into a room. Maybe it's the way you speak, calm, grounded, deliberate. Every adjustment becomes a declaration. I'm not changing who I am. I'm sharpening how I move. That's adaptation done right. That's evolution without apology. So stop fighting the system. Learn it. Stop screaming to be seen. Start speaking in the language power understands. You're not meant to rebel against everything. No, you're not. You're meant to rise within it. So stand out when it counts. Blend when you must. Because the one who knows when to do both never loses their identity. They multiply their influence. Adaptation isn't surrender. It's precision warfare. You're not selling your soul, and I want you to understand that. You're sharpening your strategy. Every version of you is still you, just more focused, more refined, more aware. You don't camouflage to disappear. No, you don't. You camouflage to conquer. Play the game so well that authenticity becomes your greatest advantage. Win with grace. Move with intent. Don't announce your power, embody it. Because the world doesn't reward rebellion without direction. It crowns the strategist who knows exactly who they are beneath every disguise. So stop apologizing for evolving. Stop mistaking your adaptability for weakness. You're not fading into the crowd. You're infiltrating it. And when the time is right, you'll rise. Yes, you will. Not as a copy. No, not as a copy, but as a conqueror. Because authenticity isn't about staying visible. It's about staying undeniable. And remember, the choice is yours. And that's it for today. If you're still making excuses after this one, that's on you. But if you're ready to move, then burn the damn comfort zone down and smash that subscribe button so you never miss the fire. Send this to someone who's one decision away from a full-blown comeback. This is the Bad Influence Podcast. Until next time, stay relentless, stay dangerous, make them remember your name, and have a great day.